say depending on what concern or problem or issue is brought to you, no, by the client, then you decide what would be the best way to assist, provide that assistance needed. Okay, so you have what you call supportive counseling. Okay, so this is often used with individuals having difficulties standing alone amid their problems who may need sustained guidance. So, provide lang support. Okay, may problema, may ongoing family problem, and the client finds it hard, no, to manage to deal with what's going on. So that's when he seeks assistance, and the counselor here may uh, conduct the supportive counseling here, and the goal is to give temporary support and help for the person to gain the strength and the resources to cope. That is what you mean by being there for the other person, and that's what you do most of the time when your friend is in a bad situation or is going through a rough patch. You try to support the person morally, with your presence, with your encouragement, with your belief in him. You say, I believe in you, sige lang, I'm not going to judge you, naintindihan kita. That is your supportive counseling. However, a counselor may have to do a confrontational counseling when it is important, no, necessary for the client to realize, no, uh, to realize his or her inconsistencies or discrepancies between her verbal behavior and non-verbal behavior. They do not jibe at all. They are not in sync. You say one thing, but you do another thing. Parang you say you are this, but that's not reflected in your action. So that would require the counselor to really point it out to the client. And that is difficult, di ba? Because if you try to go against, you'll end up in conflict. You avoid confrontations, di ba? You don't want to be confrontational, because that is, if you don't know how to conduct the confrontation, things can really can really get out of can it can blow, no, the situation can just be blown in out of proportion. It can get out of control, and you will end up not even focusing on the issue, but you now focus on other things. So yun, the counselor here guides the counselee to see his wrongdoings, no, his misdemeanor or his ill decided actions, and realize the hurt that might have been caused to others. So you give it to him as it is. O itong ginawa mo, what do you expect? You expect them to be happy after what you have done? uh, you know, this is you if you decided on this path, and then now you're complaining, or now you are hurt because of what they are saying to you, or how they are uh, responding to your actions. So it started with you, but you don't know when you know that the client is in a denial mode, does not like to accept the mistake that has been committed, or you don't want to confront muna kung ano ba yung totoo. You want to run away from it, and you want to protect you want to protect yourself from hurt. You say you are not to be blamed, they are to be blamed, parang ganun. That's when you have to do confrontational counseling. You also do that to your friends, di ba? Tama? There are times when you really have to be to be brutally frank to the person. Ano ka man, ganyan-ganyan ka, madali ka lang. I mean, you're very good at saying things about others, but before you do that, pwede ba you look at yourself first? That is telling, hoy, sandali lang ha. Parang you're pointing everything sa others, no? But take time out to look at you and see exactly what you have done to bring about this kind of situation that we are all in. Parang gano'n. Confrontation. Yeah? Okay lang? Uh,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay na po.
yes. Okay. Sige. That is also one way of resolving conflicts, di ba? Not the best. It's always the win-win. Okay? Now, educative counseling. So ito na where psychoeducation comes in, because when you go into psychoeducation, the focus is on teaching the client to unlearn behaviors that are detrimental to him and to others. Okay, so tingnan mo, this is what you did and this is now the effect. So how do you how do you bring about changes in your behavior? So behavior modification na yan, di ba? So you show him the way, you tell him the steps, so you discuss about what he can do, you give him assignments, so sige, try out if this is going to work for you. Okay, when you go, when you, if you're shy, say for example, assignment, diba? Kahit sa counseling may assignment. This is when next week, when you go and attend that meeting, I'd like you, directive to, I'd like you now to take note of how you behave. Here is this table. You just put a checklist lang yan, check mo lang kung nagawa mo ba yun, and then at the end say how you feel, how what the outcome is, para ganon, and then you come back and tell me what happened, because you are now trying to uh, bring about the a change in the way he socially relates to people around him. Parang ganon. And then when you do educative counseling, you're addressing questions like social and religious issues, career problems, and there is this assistance given to the person in making critical decisions. Okay, so ano ba? Career problems. Okay, so career guide, career counseling na yan. That is educative. So, what if you want to so, plot your career path as early as now, now that you are in college, or what path, what career path would you like to follow? Ano bang plano mo? Would you like to be, ano ba ang timeline mo? In 10 years time, saan ka ba gusto? How do you see yourself 10 years from now? Okay, 10 years from now, you say, I want to be the president of the Philippines. Okay, so how do you plan to go about being president of the Philippines in 10 years time? So anong gagawin mo? What's your career path? So you're now a student of political science. From there, where do you want to, how will that help, how will you be able to be president of the Philippines with a background on political science? What else can you do to increase the probability of you being at that being president? So I think it would be good if I go into law school, o di sige, okay, and then parang ganon, no? So educative counseling. And then you also have what we call preventive counseling. This is used to stop problems before they start, or to prevent things from getting worse. Okay, so your teacher may develop may have these concerns. Ay, ito, absent yan. Ay, if he's not going to change, if he continues not to attend his classes, he's really sure to get a failing mark at the end of the semester. What could be the problem? Lastima, sayang itong bata, may potential. He's actually a smart student, but being smart is not enough to pass a subject. You still have to attend your subject regularly. So to help to try to what's this not to try to help the person from getting a 5 because sayang you require you refer the student to the guidance office. Tingnan mo daw to what's causing him, what prevents him from attending his class regularly. Can something be done to lessen the number of absences? Okay, if this person is got a, this person uh, is this person is underachieving. Ano ba? What can we do to help him? What's this? Help him reach his potentials. Maybe we can teach the as a whole na lang. Students know how to develop good study habits, parang ganon. And then maybe you're concerned about a number of students in the class getting pregnant. And then you may call them and say, talk to them about the consequences of getting into premarital sex, blah, blah, things like that. Preventive counseling. Okay? And then, meron din tayo what we call the spiritual counseling. And this time now, the aim here is to show people, the persons, the clients, the way to Christ, the way to Allah, the way to to find spiritual answer. When you are into existential you want to know the meaning of life, you feel like spiritually you are stunted, parang that you feel empty inside because something is amiss, there is something that is missing there, and you want to, maybe it's because you don't have that spiritual, you are not taking care of your spiritual side. Okay, you parang you are in search of you are in search of of who you are in the spiritual world. Parang ganon. Okay, I know. I am already the CEO. I am married to the best woman in the world. I have the recognition, the respect, and the prestige of what the position uh, brings me, but I still feel that there is something missing here. I don't have this connection to nature, to God. Parang this is something that I still have to work on, and so I would like to go into spiritual counseling. And then we have what we call psychotherapy and depth counseling. This is an extended process and requires skills of a counseling professional. And you go into psychotherapy or depth counseling when it is clear that the problems of the client are deep seated and clearly it cannot be resolved, cannot be addressed in 8 sessions or in 8 sittings, but this has to be a protracted engagement, quote unquote. That means to say that this is going to take 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, depende on the progress made every time they see each other, because it is so the problems are so intertwined with each other, they are so complicated that if you are going to try to separate the issues, it's going to be a challenge. So that's where psychotherapy comes in. Questions?
None
right?
so far, ma'am.
Okay lang?
Yes po,
Sige.
ma'am.
So, if that is the case, let me see. I think this is the last slide that I have. Let me see. Oh, there is still this one. Oh, yeah. This is what you do. Informal counseling. No? So, all these counseling, forms of counseling already mentioned, we have the preventive, the educative, the confrontational, the spiritual, psychotherapy, and then the first one, ano ba yun, the first one? Okay, this will require you doing it in a professional setting. But sometimes informal counseling do take place, and it is so called informal because they occur in a casual setting. Okay, like during a dinner party, when you go during a hospital visit, when you bump into each other in KCC, when you when you what's this, when you on your way out of the campus, or when you were having your snacks, informal lang yan, or while waiting for your teacher, you started talking with one another, and then in the course of saying hi and hello, uh, one person brings up a concern, and that's how your conversation, the conversation progress, and it's focused on parang ganon. So help might be asked, or a problem shared or mentioned is addressed, and that happens, di ba? Uy, katalaman to, ay sabi to, you know what, I'm not really myself today because, ay, grabe. Do you know? And then you share, ay, ganoon, best. Blah, blah, blah. And then kahit na, that, even though that wasn't planned, it came out quite spontaneously, or instantaneously, by accident lang. And then you at the end, you feel, ay, bueno pa, pwede kong tigong kwento. Because if I did not talk to you, I wouldn't know that there is something that can be done. So informal, informative, ano yan, no? Educative counseling, ikaya kada, but this is in an informal setting. Or you know, ano, my child is failing, and blah blah blah. I you This is how I do, this is how I do things with my own child. This is how I develop good study habits in him. You might like to do the same. Pakimodo, how do you do that? So informal counseling. Can you relate to this? Can you relate to this?
Yes po, ma'am.
This is what you're doing all the time, most of that time. Okay, so all you need is to just hone or brush up on how you respond on the questions that you ask, and maybe acquire the additional skills so that you'll be able to extend really properly, appropriately, correctly, the assistance uh, asked of you from time to time, professionally. Okay. So there you go, informal counseling. And then you also are familiar with this. When do you say it is individual counseling? It is when you go one on one. Okay? Now, there are times when group counseling is the best way to do things. So you will have several students with you there, you form a circle, and then the counselor here becomes the facilitator. And this is common. You see this type of counseling in movies, diba? Like they have this meeting and they have to share, they come together, okay, like supportive counseling. the participants, no, the clients in the group are all those who went through the same trauma. They experienced war. They experienced an incident that took place in the mall, and they were right there. They shared the same trauma, and so they get together and talk about what happened, blah. And so, yun na. That's group counseling. Now, uh, there are times too when married couples, have their problems, and they, before deciding definitely for sure that it is best that they go their separate ways, but they just be go for legal separation, or even annulling their marriage. They still want to give it one more go. They still want to see if it is possible for them to patch things up, to mend things, to do things differently with one another, because even if they are at each other's throat, the bottom line is they still care for each other. Kaya lang the communication line is so bad that they cannot talk to each other anymore, and they will have to go see a counselor and undergo what we call marital counseling. Okay, so you first talk with the wife muna. Ano bang problema? So, listen to the perspective of the wife. This is what is going on in my marriage, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so what do you want to happen? How do you want things to be? O, ito na naman. Then talk to the husband. O, anong problema mo sa asawa mo? Ay, she's really like this, she's really like that. And this is, ayan, I'm ready to give up, blah, blah. But I still want to I'm willing to talk things out and see if we can we can still continue with what we have, because after all, we do not want our children to be subjected to this kind of situation. So there, and then okay, bring them together now. So this is what the wife said. This is what the husband said. Okay, what are so? Well, can you compromise, meet in the middle? So the wife gets what she wants, the husband gets what she wants, and then clarify things kung ano ba yung mga source of hurt and pain. So in the end, that's not how it is. This is not what I think it is, or this is explained. Yun, marital counseling. And then there are also times when the whole family would like to go see a counselor and talk about what is happening to the family. The children do not have problems with relating to their parents, and their parents are already at loss at how to deal with their child or with the children. Again, they seem not to be able to relate well with one another. It's the family is falling apart, or maybe a member, a child is sick, and the other siblings do not know how to handle the illness, and so they stay away from the child, or they say things, they are not supportive, like say for example, older siblings, uh, they are uncaring about the youngest who was born with Down syndrome, or is having some handicaps, blah blah blah, and the parents would like to get their help to provide the needs, the special needs of the youngest, parang ganon. And so that may also be another reason why they would like to undergo family counseling. So the counseling is not just for a male or a female. It's not just for somebody who is going through something, but it can also be provided. No, assistance can be provided to a group, to couples, or maybe not even married to each other, but you are in a relationship, and you have been together for so long, and things are not working out for you. So you might like to talk things over with someone who is objective, someone who can bring about the reconciliation of expectations of goals or things like that, no? And then also the family. Okay, so I guess that is all for today, and it is 9:54 in my watch, and I'm ready for some questions from the group. If you don't have any, then we will end our session 5 minutes early. Questions from the group? Mas claro, ya. Okay. And so that means to say you are ready for your second quiz in counseling. And so please prepare for it on Tuesday. Again, we will do it paano ito ngayon? Uh, next week it will be face to face for us. Pero Tuesday naman pala online tayo. So just like what we did the first time when we had our quiz, you will be given ample time to work on the items online, and then as soon as you submitted your responses, we meet for the rest of the period. Parang ganun na lang. So coverage will be ito na. We're done with the definition, so we are now moving on to ito, types of counseling, and then the forms of counseling. Questions? And to reinforce what has already been said, I will share with you the questions asked by my previous students, and then the answers that I gave. No, so I'll share it with you right away sa group chat natin. You go over the questions and answers, and then use that also as a basis for preparing for your quiz on Tuesday. Ox lang?
Ox lang, ma'am.
Ox lang po,
Okay,
ma'am.
so that's all for today. Thank you so much. I hope you learned something new to help you understand better what counseling is. Okay, so I'll see you on Tuesday.
Thank you,
Prepare for
ma'am.
that quiz. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. There you go.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Bye,
Thank
ma'am.
you,
Thank you
ma'am.
Thank you,
po.
ma'am.